they're looking to see if our young players can cope against men. We try and dominate every game we play in. That comes from being aggressive, looking to win the ball high up the pitch, and being in control of the game. But ultimately, it's about these boys enhancing their reputation to showcase their talent, their technical ability, performing at under 21 level so people can pick up the phone and say, who is that player? We want them to have opportunities to fail, but at the same time have the ability to play fearless, really show why they're at Arsenal. Arsenal's a big club, and if they're going to get to play in Arsenal's first team, then they've got to be able to perform at those levels.
My name is Mehmet Ali. I'm the under-21 head coach and lead of our professional development phase in the academy. And I've been at Arsenal for 3 seasons, initially as the assistant coach and now as the head coach. My role consists of really supporting our first team and making sure they're prepared daily for games, but also trying to get our boys an opportunity to play within our first team and have a career in the industry, and also oversee the professional development phase. I love the EFL Trophy. Youth Cup's a great experience for our under-18s. I guess this differs because you're playing against men. Youth Cup, you're playing against your peers, players that you've known growing up throughout the system, whereas when you get to this stage, you're playing against the men's team. When you're at Arsenal, sometimes you can become institutionalised very quickly. You think that you've made it, you think because you're at Arsenal and you're at a big club, you're going to have a career. But I love these games because it's like bringing players back down to earth. There's a realisation that there's a lot of good players out there, and it's really hard to survive in football. And these games really expose them to that. It's really hard to plan in advance. Our squad can change pretty much up to today, really. So we've been given a first team player. We've also had our centre forward been ill as well. And also we've got 5 players on international duty. So it could be up as late as like a match day -1 when you're choosing what you're actually going to be doing. My team, we've been preparing for the last week for this game in terms of opposition analysis. The lads have got a good idea of what our opponents will be doing, and then it's down to us to fine-tune what our team selection will be for tomorrow, what we'll do for training today, and then execute our game plan to go on, hopefully win and dominate the game. Morning. All good? Morning. How are we? Morning. Say hello to the camera, guys.
Morning. Hello, camera guys.
Legends. We've got Exeter tomorrow, guys. Big game. We ready?
Yeah, just been going through the opposition.
Oh, brilliant. Well done.
The big question though is, how's Kayon? Is he still? Is he unwell?
He's no good.
Right. Go through solutions then and see what it looks like. Do we change?
We'll wait for Nilo to get in and then we'll have a run through. Alright guys, obviously we've lost Kayon this morning. He potentially will be okay for tomorrow, but he's not in for training today. So I don't think he should start the game. If he is available, I think we get him on the bench and see how he is. And after talking to Albert yesterday, we've been given Cedric as well, which we thought we might have got him, we might not have got him, but they confirmed it that we're going to have him, and we've got him for training today as well.
How long? Is there any restrictions on Cedric? How long he can play?
They said, see how the game goes, but they said 60 to 75.
Okay.
So that will impact obviously one sub that we're going to have. And without all of those lads up there, I know Max, we spoke about obviously playing a back 5. What would our personnel be now? Because I don't think Dan's potentially ready to start a game as a 9. So what would be our solution to starting lineup? Obviously in goal, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Cedric as the right wing back.
Yeah. That's what Albert wanted if we said we were going to play a 5. Yeah.
And then obviously your back 3 would potentially be Taylor, Zane and Aiden.
Zane middle.
Yeah, I think keeps Aiden on his left foot there.
Yeah.
And then the problem we've got is left wing back. I think Cameron Ishmael, it's too much for being a first year, similar to Daniel.
Yeah.
So I think for this game, if we haven't got Kay on, we can't play Charles there. So Charles is going to have to 9, so we probably have to go with James Sweet, which we know Sweetie, great energy up and down. He'll give us a really, really good shift like he always does. And then your midfield 2, you're probably looking at, out of the balance we've got, to have that box in there is going to be Bradley Ibrahim and Jack Henry Francis. And then your pocket players, Jimmy Gower left and Dudziak right.
Yeah. And then Charles is the 9.
Yeah, Charles is the 9. If Kayon is fit, having the potential to go back to our normal playing shape will be good for us.
When he comes on?
Yeah, if he comes on, we could potentially go back to like 4-3-3.
And we've also got Seb Nilo as well, right? That can come on
For sure, yeah.
off the right.
That could get us Charles back on the left, where he's been so good at the start of this season.
Exeter, they are a good footballing team, but do have the ability to mix it up as well. So I think if we do get the press right, we do get a good amount of pressure on the back line. Just prepare for that ball to go over us. So we have to defend direct play, defend the channel, but also just make sure we're alive in the middle of the pitch.
So this is what we'll work on today. Blow these 3 up, try and pin back their 7, work switches of play. You still got your 2 pivots, and then that will suit Harrison and Jimmy as well as the pocket players.
Sure. And again,
Ov will be important. Go on, Alan.
just very similar to our principles. So we're trying to play through, around or over.
Yeah.
With the way they press with the 5, the 2 and the 3, I feel that no matter what we do, how we rotate, how we essentially roll into a different structure, we'll be able to get some kind of central overloads on there too. As we said, we're trying to make that front 3 blow up as much as possible, make them run as much as possible. So can we attract them to one side, bring them onto us to then play over or around?
Yeah.
We're quite lucky because all of the boys get loads of opportunities to play minutes. Because we're a young group and a young squad, if they don't play with us, they're playing in the 18s. If they're not with the 18s, they're on the bench with us and then getting opportunity to play 21s football. I would say we have a really good blend of players who start the game, but the lads that are coming on, they know they want to enhance their reputations, and everyone working at Arsenal is that their foot to the floor. They're doing it properly, they're hungry to impress and improve. You don't know when you might get that call up to the 21s or the first team or someone from the first team watching. All you can do is every day train hard and be ready for when you do get that opportunity, because in football, especially being at Arsenal, there will be an opportunity, whether that's with our first team, elsewhere, you're going to get a chance and you just got to be ready for it. We used to, at times, dominating games, having a lot of the ball, but there's no harm in every now and again making it really hard and doing that on purpose to see how players respond, because that's only going to make them better. So we've got to skillfully do that and do it at the right times. And as well as that, we also need to make sure that they're getting success and joy, and getting that balance isn't always easy, and it comes from a lot of planning, and it comes from a lot of experienced staff trying to put training models and programs together to best support our individuals.
I'm looking forward to the game tonight. And tonight, guys, you have to look after this. You have to look after this. You have to have the bravery to want to take this in. You have to share this. You have to look after this like your life depends on it. Starting lineup. Subs, get your numbers. Be ready to come on and make an impact. Zayn, lead the team well. Charles, be ready for pens if he's off. Jimmy, make sure we step up and deliver. You have to penetrate. We have to make runs in behind. You have to give them a problem. Clever little one round the corner, runs in behind. Show it, guys. Make those runs, get crosses into the box. Be strong with your mind. You know the tactical plan. You know what we're looking to do. Go on, deliver it, go on, execute it. Guys, there's going to be times where things go wrong. There's going to be times where the crowd might boo you. There's going to be times where you make a mistake, the ball might roll under your foot. Play with bravery today. Play with a big heart. So important. Are we ready to go and win? Yeah. Okay, boys, let's go. Come on. Okay.
I think loads of different managers and head coaches will do it different ways. At Arsenal, the way our first team work and how They've got the players' foot to the floor all of the time. Whatever player has come down back with us, they've been excellent. Their application, their attitude, their experience that they hold, they do it properly. And that's what we had with Cedric, as well as other players that have been with us in previous games. They're a great role model for our younger players. Sometimes something comes from a first team player such as Cedric or another player, it means a lot to our players and they respond. So to have that was great for them. And again, these players have got experience. You know, Cedric's a top professional and had an unbelievable career internationally and domestically. So to have that experience really helps. And another thing I see is when first team players come down is how competitive they are. They go into this mode and zone of like being desperate to win, and I love our boys to see that because we push for that and we strive to achieve that. But when they see that up close from a first team player, that's invaluable experience for them.
Come on, Kate!
Challenge.
Make sure
We'll try to go in high press as well. We have to have the courage to play, and be smart. If they are man to man, use last line sometimes. Okay?
Okay, guys. Tonight, they're desperate to beat you. They're desperate to win. But guess what? They're playing against Arsenal tonight. So when you go out there on the pitch, let them realise who they're playing against. Let them realise your talent, your ability. But more importantly, what you've got up here. Play smart. Be strong up here. Yes, there's a game plan. Yes, there's tactical information. But be bright on the pitch. Play together. Look after each other. Stick together on the pitch. Go for them. On free win. 1, 2, 3. Win! Enhance your reputations, boys. Enhance your reputations.
Obviously the game was played in international window, which means that we had players missing and away. And due to that, we had to adapt a little bit to what we usually do. But what I would say is our boys were excellent at staying in the game first half out of possession. We were very, very good. We caused them a lot of problems by being difficult and hard to break down. We made some key blocks, which isn't our usual game model or style because we're so used to dominating, having a lot of the ball, where I would say that the ball was shared quite a lot in the first half.
Come! Yes, Zane! Yes, Zane! Taylor! Complete! Good, hey!
You see Harrison Duziak's a second-year scholar. He's not played a lot in 21, so at the start of the game, anytime we did something positive or something based on our principles,
Well done, brilliant! Hey, well done!
I made sure that I gave him a little bit of feedback or just try and support him to build his confidence up a little bit. And to be fair to him, he was good, did that well.
Be bright!
I try and get them to be fearless when they play, regardless of the opposition that we're playing against. I always try and let them feel superior to who we're playing against, and we try and do that by the way we set up or the way we say we train and work every day. So we really try and boost them and give them a confidence boost, but obviously as the game's going on, they get a feel and a sense for that. I'm thinking, leave it how it is for now, and then when Cedric comes off, we can go 4-3-3. Keon will go up front, Charles will go off the left, and then Seb will have to come on. For me, I think the build-up's been calm, composed, we've gone around them well. We've then got to try and find opposite side. When we get into final third, we're too rushed. If we wait a little bit, Cedric Sweet can go on the last line. That's when we've had our best spells. But you need some passes in here before you do that.
One spell where we
Some nice little combinations, yeah.
yeah. Throw in six.
No.
Throw-ins. Like Jimmy's giving away.
Yeah, first time.
Exactly the same as
Yeah, so you go out of possession first, I'll go in position. I love this competition that we're involved in because it really stresses our players, and ultimately when people are watching, whether that's at our football club or from other football clubs, when they watch these games, they're looking to see if our young players can cope against men. We've had loads of examples of lads doing well in EFL Trophy games that have then gone on to have loan spells at clubs. It definitely is a platform for the lads to enhance their reputations and get opportunities to go and play men's football. When I'm on the touchline, I like to remain calm. I like to think clearly. I've got Max, who's excellent at what he does behind me. We've got Ken, who's watching from the top, who's feeding back into Max. So for me, it's about remaining calm, making sure I'm seeing the game clearly, not getting emotionally involved and attached, but also making sure that the boys are playing fearless and playing with bravery, and I push for that. And yeah, you can't change your character. I'm very passionate and I love to support the players as best I can from the sidelines.
Calm, drive inside, drive inside. Get up, Jim. See, get on with it. Let's go.
Yeah, you're in, lads, you're in for a game. Sweetie, because you asked for the card, just stay focused on the game. Let me manage the ref, okay? Stay disciplined, keep finding your passes. And lads, you're playing against men, you're gonna get hits in the head. Just stay calm, find your passes.
On that one, you obviously see Cedric doing a little bit of coaching, which is brilliant. Sweetie just got a yellow card at that moment, and I could see that gave him a wobble. He was a little bit like looking around, so I had to try and realign him, refocus him. I almost tried to take the pressure away from him by saying, I'll deal with the referee, you focus on what you're doing. And at that point in the game, there was a couple challenges coming in because I could sense that they were getting frustrated. And normally when that happens, I'm now trying to say to our boys, stay calm, you've hooked them, which is good. But how do you stay disciplined and concentrate on what we're doing?
Well done, Jim. Well done, Charles. Set it up, half and half. Bravo! Yes! Come on!
Great goal from the boys, like Jack, Henry, Francis. We do a lot of that in training in terms of like committing a player, getting someone to run round. So when you see things that you do on the training pitch then come out in the game, it's obviously really rewarding. It was 0-0 at that point. Charles did brilliant to obviously get in front of the defender and get his goal. Big goal to score.
Yes, sir, bring the energy, yeah? High and wide in possession, okay? Find your passes, find your pocket player, combine with him, yeah?
Go on, Charles, go on! Drive inside!
Yeah, again, like as soon as we scored there, obviously I'm on to Brad and Zane. You go 2-0 up, so I'm trying to make sure that we coach them and make sure that we're solid. I've probably got to get better at letting our players sometimes make their own decisions as well. So Charles is top at intercepting, he reads it really well, wins it, and then I'm shouting that drive inside. But I want to get to a stage where I don't need to tell him that, like he knows that already. But I guess that's my passion, that's my character, to try and control every situation and every ball. So yeah, something obviously I'm looking at, but again, he did really well. Found the other side, which is again something that we work on with Max and Ken every day, like on transition. If we win the ball on one side, can we go and attack the other? And then credit to Seb, top finish, took his goal really well. And what we was talking about earlier, he's a sub that came on and impacted the game.
You got to wait, eh? Now you can go. See the ball. Good take.
Yeah, a little bit lucky with the goal and how it goes in, but before that I was really pleased with Taylor there. He was really front foot, aggressive and helped win the ball back, which was really good. And then Keon does well to link and connect. And then Jack, yeah, took his goal well, took a deflection, but I'm pleased with Jack because he's someone that every day is on it, grafting really hard. So pleased that he got his reward.
Brothers! Come on, Brad! Yeah!
Seb Ferdinand, it's outstanding.
I'm really pleased with Seb. Like the goal's a transition goal, so we win the ball. We do well to break on them. Seb's obviously high on confidence after the previous goal he scored. But like when I look at that back, I'm really pleased with Ismail Ulad, because it's a really unselfish run for him to run across, take a defender with him, and that just makes it a lot more difficult for the goalkeeper. This is what I try and say to our players all the time, like what we are doing every day in training, it comes out in game situations. So the fact that he's making those runs and creating space for others and making it harder for their goalkeeper, those are the things that I'll reward and praise. We're big on like the principles of what we do every day, so yeah, it was good finish.
Okay, go clap the fans, go clap the fans. Go clap the fans. Well done, go clap the fans, top boys. Hey,
It's harder in 21s football because we don't get the crowds, but what I say to our boys is if you want to play in front of a crowd, get into our first team. But when you do have the crowd there, it really gives the boys a lift. It really helps them perform. Like you saw in COVID times when there's no crowd, even in first team games, it's quiet, it's not got the same feel. So for them to have that, it's great for them to experience it, and they get a little bit of a taste for it, and that's what I love. Like once they get that little taste for it and then they come in the change rooms after the game, that's something that we can really feed off and be like, yeah, you felt that, didn't you? Like you're ready for your next step in terms of going and playing men's football. And I always say to our lads, like, under 21s is a stepping stone. Under 21s is not your final destination. It's an area where you're going to improve and get better. It's a working group for them to really go and push and have careers. Ideally we want a big crowd in all our games, but I quite like the fact that they experience it, but then it gets taken away from them in our next PL2 fixture. So then they're almost thinking, oh, I've got to go on, I've got to get into our first team. You know, it just gives them another little incentive.
Boys, we as a group of staff are proud to represent how you performed tonight. There were moments in the first half where it was difficult, we suffered, you stayed focused, they were kicking lumps out of you, you stayed disciplined. We were proud to represent you because that's what Arsenal stands for. Enjoy the journey back, this change room is spotless. Have a day off, we go again Thursday.
Ultimately, no one's going to remember that we beat Exeter in 5-6 years' time. What they will remember is if one or two of those lads are playing for our first team. All we strive for all of the time, and I think we're very good at this at Arsenal, is how we're going to make these individuals better, how we're going to help them bridge the gap and get into the first team, because it's so tough.